Can we move then on to the question in the name of Assembly Member Prince, Good Samaritan Clause?
Can I thank the member for his question? Good afternoon. The safety and security of everyone using London's transport network is vital. That includes the millions of Londoners who use the bus network as well as bus drivers themselves. Bus services in London as well as the DLR, London Overground and Elizabeth Line are delivered by private operators under contract to Transport for London. This means that operational matters, including staffing and employment decisions within individual companies, sit with those operators. That said, I fully recognise and understand the strength of feeling behind this campaign and the ordeal Mark Hehir has gone through. London's bus drivers are essential to the operation of our transport network. They carry significant responsibility every day to keep London moving and to keep customers safe, often in very challenging circumstances, and their contribution is valued enormously. However, as I'm sure the member would agree, legal employment protections are best set at a national level. Frameworks such as the Employment Rights Act and Equality Act already provide important protections, and if further safeguards are needed, these are most effectively delivered through national legislation. If government brings forward proposals, TfL and I will work with them to understand the implications for London's transport operators and how any changes could be implemented effectively. In the meantime, we're taking action to better support and protect all transport workers. TfL provides clear guidance and training and works closely with operators and trade unions to promote a culture where staff can act safely and confidently. But there's more to do. Earlier this month, I convened an urgent GLA-TfL work-related violence and aggression summit with TfL, the police, trade union, workers and contracted partners to develop new and collaborative approaches to improve frontline staff safety. Keeping customers safe is also central to our work. TfL works closely with the police and operators to keep the network safe and respond quickly to incidents. This partnership helps prevent crime, reassure passengers and support victims. On buses, this includes extensive CCTV coverage and 24/7 access to TfL's control room, where the Met Police Service is based. Drivers can request an immediate police response whenever a crime is committed or suspected. While we continue to press for wider change where needed, I remain committed to doing everything possible within London's powers to ensure that transport workers are supported, respected and kept safe at work.
You quoted the law, Mr Mayor. Under the Criminal Law Act of 1967, Mr Hehir has not committed any crime, and yet he's still without a job. Do you think that's fair, Mr Mayor, that he was sacked whilst actually doing something that we should all admire, actually?
We all do admire him. I think there's a separate issue about what the employer Metroline did, which was backed up by the Employment Tribunal. I've not seen I wasn't there for the Employment Tribunal case, but all of us know that if we were a victim of crime, we'd want a bus driver like Mr Hehir to be there to support us during those difficult times. I simply can't go behind, because I've not seen the decision-making process. I've in the past not commented on court cases because it's invidious going behind the decision of the tribunal. I'm not sure whether Mr Hehir has appealed to the Employment Appeal Tribunal and so forth, but you know, for those of us who weren't there, it does surprise us, both the decision of Metroline and also the tribunal, but I just don't know. I've not seen, I wasn't at the tribunal.
So, yeah, Mark is actually in the Mark is actually in the audience. Apparently there is no cause for appeal. I'm being reliably informed. You know, do you not think, Mr Mayor, that in some way you should lobby on Mark's behalf? Do you not feel that you know, you're letting Mark down and letting Londoners down, really, by not taking more of an interest in this? I mean, you are a fair mayor in many instances. You believe in justice. I believe that. Do you not think there's some way that you should intervene in this?
I don't want to talk about Mr Hehir individually, but just think about the principle in terms of the people employed by the DLR, by London Overground, by Elizabeth Line, by the individual bus operators. There's a number in London. If either the Commissioner or myself was to get involved in every dispute between an individual and the operator... You
could give guidance, couldn't you, saying that, you know, if we've got heroes, they shouldn't be punished, shouldn't you? I mean...
Well, the member says it's not hard. I mean, I think it's a slippery slope, somebody getting involved in issues of employment dispute between a contractor and an employee, or between an employment tribunal.
It's about someone who did a heroic act and is being punished for it. That's the issue, isn't it?
and between an employment tribunal and their claimant and applicant. And so, I've already said in relation to my recognition of the heroism of Mr Hehir, not only have I said this, the victim has said this in terms of her gratitude towards the step he took. It's for Metroline and the Employment Tribunal to explain the decisions they took. But it's really important that contractors know the obligations there are upon them. And so whether it's a bus operator, the DLR, the Overground, or the Elizabeth line, the same principles must apply.
Sorry, is that... thank you very much for pointing that out to me. Can I ask the Assembly to agree to suspending Standing Orders 2.9b in order to allow the remaining business on the agenda to be completed? Okay, with Assembly Member Prince now out of time, we now move to the next question, which is in my name. I need to... Oh, sorry, Assembly Member Baker, you did indicate, and in my haste to move on, I forgot you. Over the floor is yours.
How could you forget me, Chair? I'm never going to get over this. I'm going to... apologies. So, afternoon, Mr. Window. Yeah. I just wanted to come in on a couple of issues that have just been discussed. Firstly, I think Assembly Member Prince is raising some really important questions, but we do need to be careful. I hope you agree not to seek to have a situation where criminal law and employment law is the same thing, because there are many reasons, unfortunately, that people may lose a job without committing a crime. But obviously, there was a failure of common sense from Metroline here, an absolute failure of common sense to go, what's happened here, and is this really a sensible thing to end up that Mark Hehir lost his job? So I'd like to ask you that, but also whether you agree with me on that, and also just, you mentioned the Violence at Work Summit, which I attended, that TfL did. I thought it was a really good event and heard from lots of workers and trade union representatives and engaging with the employers. One thing that specifically had come out of the Transport Committee's work on this and is the request for a specific offence, legal offence for violence against transport workers, which I think would really highlight some of the pressure that our transport workers are under and make it clear that that behaviour is not acceptable. I wonder whether you also support that call.
Can I thank her for not just the work she does in the committee, but attending the summit as well. The other members are present as well at the summit. And she'll have heard the powerful testimony from our 3 transport workers in terms of, one of them was a bus driver, in terms of the impact of abuse and violence towards them, the long lingering impact of abuse and violence towards them, and it affects the family as well. I still, 45 years on, remember the trauma of my family when my dad was a victim of violence as a bus driver. I think employers should use common sense. I hope they always did, in terms of, I kind of rely upon what I've read in the media about Mr Hehir's case. And, I made this point genuinely. If any of my loved ones was on the bus and a victim of crime, I don't want him to be driving the bus, right? It's just a fact. I'm not going to, it's just a fact. So I'm not sure what's going through. I just don't know what's going through Metroline's mind. I just don't know about the employment tribunal case. I just don't know about those two things. But what we should do as a consequence is make sure that we protect our bus drivers, we protect our frontline workers. Both the RMT General Secretary and myself pay tribute to somebody who lost their lives just for doing their job. Jorge Ortega, just for doing his job, he lost his life. And so it is important we give support to our transport workers, and we're going to do so. But she raises what I think is such a simple idea, and I've written to the government about this, so has the Commissioner. I was really pleased by the campaign that USDAW ran in relation to shop workers. So there is additional protection and additional sanctions for a judge if a shop worker is the victim of an injury. Why not a transport worker? They're on the front line doing important stuff, and it'll act as a deterrent, an act of reassurance, but also make sure that the punishment fits the crime in terms of attacking a helpless transport worker doing their job. And so I'll carry on lobbying the government in relation to the right vehicle to bring in the law, because I think it's essential.
Thanks very much. Back to you, Chair.